My parents let my brother use my condo while I was away, then told me to move out. The first thing I noticed when I opened my condo door wasn't the acrid smell of stale pizza and energy drinks. It wasn't even the forest of gaming equipment cluttering my usually pristine living room. No, it was the sound of my brother's voice, loud and obnoxious, yelling into his headset. "And that's how you dominate in Fortnite, boys. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button." My name is Lauren, and that pristine condo? I bought it with 5 years of 12-hour shifts as a nurse and carefully saved overtime pay. "Tyler," I called out, wheeling my suitcase through a maze of pizza boxes and energy drink cans. "What are you doing here?" "Oh, snap!" Tyler spun around in my dining chair, my antique dining chair that I'd restored myself, still streaming live. "Guys, my sister's back early. Say hi to the chat." I stared at the camera setup, then at the disaster surrounding me. My cream leather sectional was stained with what looked like hot Cheetos dust. Takeout containers from Tony's Pizzeria littered every surface. And was that a crack in my vintage coffee table? "Turn off the stream," I said quietly. "But this is golden content, the surprise reunion." Tyler rolled his eyes but didn't stop recording. "You were supposed to be gone another 3 weeks, Mom said." "Mom said what?" I moved closer, noting more damage. Red stains on my white walls that looked suspiciously like energy drink splashes, scratches on my hardwood floors from gaming chairs. "Why are you streaming from my home?" "Don't be so dramatic," Mom and Dad said it was fine. I needed better internet for my gaming channel, and your place was just sitting empty. The front door opened again. "Tyler, honey, I brought those protein shakes you wanted." My mother, Patricia, stopped short, grocery bags dangling from her manicured hands. "Loren, what are you doing back?" "What am I doing back in my own home?" My voice came out steadier than I felt. "The better question is, what's been happening here? Now, sweetheart." Mom set down the bags, already shifting into damage control mode. "Tyler's streaming career is really taking off. We didn't want to bother you during your writing retreat, but he needed proper internet and equipment set up." "My sabbatical," I corrected. "The one I spent 2 years planning, the one you all knew about." "Which you can do anywhere," Tyler chimed in, not looking up from his phone where he was reading chat comments. "All you need is a laptop and some notebooks. Meanwhile, I have subscribers to consider, sponsorship deals to maintain. Get out." The words came out flat, final. They both stared at me. "Excuse me?" Mom's voice went sharp. "Get out, both of you, now!" "Loren Marie Hendris, you are being completely unreasonable." Mom started, but I held up my hand. "My name is on the deed. My money paid for everything you've been destroying. You had no right." "Family has every right," Mom snapped. "Tyler is building something important. You've always been so selfish, so unwilling to support." "Support?" I laughed, the sound harsh even to my own ears. Like when I supported Dad's failed restaurant, or Tyler's gaming setup that I bought him, or your spa membership when you were finding yourself. "That's different," Tyler pouted. "This is my career. I'm actually successful. I have 10,000 subscribers." I walked to my bedroom, ignoring their protests. The door was unlocked, a small mercy. But when I opened it, the sight made my stomach turn. Gaming equipment covered every surface. My writing desk had been pushed aside to make room for multiple monitors and LED lighting. The walls were dotted with command strip residue. "We need to discuss this like adults," Mom called through the door. "Tyler has commitments, contracts. You can't just—" I opened my hidden desk safe, removed the flash drive I'd stored there months ago, right after the first time Dad had borrowed my spare key without asking. Then I pulled out my phone and dialed building management. "This is Lauren Hendris in Unit 412, I said. "I need to report unauthorized occupancy and property damage." "Yes, I'll hold." "Loren!" Tyler pounded on the door. "You're being insane. Think about my viewers." I thought about the security cameras I'd installed last year. Disguised as decorative pieces. The footage they'd been quietly collecting. The evidence I'd been saving just in case. My family had always seen me as the reliable one. The responsible one. the one who would cave in and clean up their messes. They were about to learn how wrong they were. "It's just temporary," Dad said, spreading his hands across my dining table, the one I'd found at an estate sale in Portland and refinished myself, "until Tyler can secure his own streaming space." I sat across from my family, hands wrapped around a coffee mug, watching steam rise between us. The new locks had bought me 18 hours of peace before they descended in mass for what Mom called a family intervention. 2 months, Mom added. Maybe 3 tops. "We've already looked at some lovely studio apartments for you." "Lovely studio apartments?" I repeated slowly. "To replace my home. Think of it as an investment in your brother's future," Mom pressed. "Tyler's latest sponsorship deal with Game Fuel Energy is worth more than you make in a month. He needs this space, Loren." Tyler cut in, not looking up from his phone. "My subscribers expect consistent, high-quality content. Your place has the perfect lighting and acoustics." "Your subscribers?" I took a slow sip of coffee. "The ones you told that this condo was your bachelor pad success story?" Tyler's head snapped up. "You watched my streams along with building management and my insurance company." I set down my mug. "Yes." Now Dad intervened, pulling an envelope from his jacket. "There's no need to make threats. We are family. We can work this out." He slid the envelope across the table. "We've put together first month's rent for a place in the Pearl District." "No." I pushed the envelope back. "This isn't a negotiation. You all need to leave today." "You ungrateful little—" Mom started, but Tyler's girlfriend, Amber, chose that moment to burst through my front door. "Babe! You won't believe who just agreed to sponsor us," she gushed, then froze, taking in the scene. "Oh, family meeting. Perfect timing." Tyler brightened. "Tell Loren about our upcoming collaborations. She needs to understand the scope of what we're building here." "Actually," I cut in, "Amber needs to leave. She's not on my lease, and the building has strict policies about unauthorized residents." "Policies you never cared about before," Mom snapped. "Before you didn't forge my signature on streaming platform agreements and lie to sponsors using my address." The room went very quiet. "What are you talking about?" Dad asked slowly. I pulled out my laptop, opened a folder. Contracts, partnership agreements, tax documents, all with my forged signature. Tyler's face went pale. "Those are private business documents that use my name and address fraudulently," I said, turning the screen. "Want to explain this one? The Game Fuel contract where you claim to own this condo outright to meet their established lifestyle requirements?" "I had to," Tyler burst out. "They wouldn't partner with someone who still lived at home. And you're so weird about your privacy, I knew you wouldn't agree." "So you committed fraud?" I asked. "It's not fraud, it's creative marketing." Amber shifted nervously. "Shut up, Amber!" Mom and Dad snapped in unison. Dad rubbed his temples. "How much—" "Excuse me, to make this go away, to give Tyler time to transition his business properly. Name your price." I laughed. The sound made them all flinch. "You think you can buy me out of my own home?" "We're trying to help you." Mom slammed her hand down. "You waste your life in that hospital dreaming about writing some novel that will never happen. Tyler is actually building something." "Building something?" I stood up. "Let's see what he's built." I walked to my living room, pointing. "Broken vintage table, $3,000 to replace. Stained walls, $1,500 to repair and repaint. Scratched floors, $5,000 minimum. We'll fix it," Dad promised quickly. "Like you fixed my car when Tyler borrowed it for his road trip content? Or my credit score when Mom took out those store cards in my name for her business opportunity?" More silence. "Get out," I said again. "All of you. You have 2 hours to remove your things before building security arrives." "You wouldn't dare," Mom whispered. My phone buzzed. I checked the message and smiled. "That's Janet from building management. Apparently there's quite a crowd gathered in the lobby." Something about last night's live party that Tyler hosted. Amber went pale. "That was supposed to be private." "The internet is never private," I said, turning my phone to show them the viral clips. "Especially not when you tag the location and violate multiple building codes on camera." "Lauren, please." Tyler's voice cracked. "I should have thought about that before making my home your brand." I walked to the door and held it open. 2 hours, then I start uploading everything. They filed out. Mom hissing threats, Dad pleading, Tyler crying, Amber practically running. When the door closed, I leaned against it, hands shaking. My phone buzzed again. A text from my coworker, Marcus. "You okay? Need backup?" I looked at my ruined living room. Thought of the security footage waiting on my flash drive. Remembered every time I'd swallowed my anger and cleaned up their messes. "No," I typed back, "but they're about to be." The security footage played on my laptop, like a greatest hits compilation of entitlement. 2 months of chaos, condensed into neat digital packages. "Wait, pause it there," Marcus said, leaning over my shoulder in the hospital break room. "Is that kid even old enough to drink?" I froze the frame. Tyler's latest party shot from my hidden camera in the vintage lamp. The timestamp read 1:47 a.m., and the kid accepting a beer looked about 17. Probably not. I sighed, clicking through more clips. And that's not the worst of it. Tyler's friends trying on my clothes, rifling through my desk, using my credit card for DoorDash orders. Mom giving virtual tours to her book club friends, bragging about the property as a family investment. Dad using my address for business correspondence I'd never authorized. "Your brother's really been broadcasting from your place this whole time?" Broadcasting, partying, destroying. I rubbed my eyes. The cleaning service sent photos. They're refusing to work until the damage is professionally assessed. My phone buzzed. Janet from building management. "Loren, we need to talk now." 10 minutes later, I sat in Janet's office, watching her flip through a thick folder. 14 noise complaints, 18 unauthorized filming reports, 3 different residents threatening legal action over privacy violations. She looked up. "Your brother's activities have become a liability." "I had no idea any of this was happening," I said. "I know. That's the only reason you're still here." Janet slid a document across her desk. "But this needs to stop today." I scanned the paper. Commercial activity violations, unauthorized business operations, breach of lease terms. My brother had been running a business from my residential unit, against code, against bylaws, against my lease agreement. Janet's expression softened slightly. "I've held off taking action because you've been a model resident. But after last night's incident..." "What happened last night?" I asked, my stomach dropping. She pulled up a social media post on her phone. Tyler, clearly drunk, hanging off my balcony while Amber filmed. The caption read, "Living that high-rise life. Who needs safety when you've got content?" "Jesus Christ," I muttered. "Exactly." Janet took back her phone. "You have 24 hours to shut down all commercial activities or we'll be forced to begin eviction proceedings." Back at the hospital, I called Mom. Straight to voicemail. "Tyler?" "Same thing." Dad picked up on the third ring. "Loren, now's not a good time. Put Mom on the phone. She's busy with Tyler. There's been some issue with his sponsors. The building is threatening eviction, commercial activity violations. They want all streaming stopped immediately." A pause. "That's unfortunate timing," Dad said. "Tyler just signed a major contract with Red Bull Gaming. They're expecting daily content from the apartment." "Not my problem," I said. "Loren, be reasonable. This deal could set Tyler up for life. He's already promised them exclusive access to his gaming sanctuary like he promised Game Fuel he owned my condo." Another pause. "How did you know about..." "I know everything, Dad. The forged documents, the unauthorized subletting, the tax fraud using my social security number." I took a deep breath. "Fix it now, or I go to the sponsors directly." "You wouldn't hurt your brother like that. Try me." I hung up, hands shaking. Marcus appeared with coffee. "You okay?" "No." I pulled up my email, started typing. "But I will be." "What are you doing?" he asked. "Documenting everything, times, dates, damages." I attached photos, videos, contracts, building a case against my own family. "They stopped being family," I said, looking at the screen, "when they decided my home was their content studio." My phone lit up. Tyler calling. I hit ignore. "They're not going to stop," Marcus said quietly. "You know that, right?" "I know." I opened another email. This one to a law firm specializing in identity theft and fraud. That's why I'm not giving them a choice. A notification popped up. Tyler had posted a new video. Against my better judgment, I clicked. There he was in my bedroom, tears streaming down his face. I just don't understand how someone could be so cruel to their own family, he sobbed. After everything I've done to build this community, this content that brings joy to thousands of people. The comments flooded in. Stay strong, King. Family should support family. Can't believe your sister would sabotage you like this. Some people are just jealous of success. I closed the tab and pulled up the folder of evidence instead. Next to me, Marcus whistled. That's a lot of fraud. That's a lot of evidence, I corrected, attaching everything to the legal email. My finger hovered over the send button. Once I did this, there would be no going back. No family dinners, no holidays, no pretending we could fix this. I thought of my ruined home, my violated trust, my brother's crocodile tears. I hit send. You're really going to destroy everything I've built because you're jealous? Tyler stood in my living room, waving a cease and desist letter like a battle flag. Is that what this is about? I continued cataloging damages for my insurance claim, not looking up. Jealous? You built nothing. You stole my identity, forged my signature, and trashed my home. I elevated your boring apartment into something meaningful. Do you know how many people want this lifestyle? Your fake lifestyle. I finally looked up. The one where you pretend to own property you don't? At least I'm doing something with my life. Tyler's voice rose. Not hiding behind some hospital job, dreaming about writing some stupid novel that'll never get published. Speaking of hiding, I pulled out a stack of papers. Want to explain these contracts? Tyler froze. Where did you get those? Your office, also known as my guest room. The one where you left confidential documents scattered everywhere. Those are private. They have my name on them, I said, spreading them across the coffee table. 6 different brand deals, all secured using my identity and assets. I had to, Tyler exploded. They wouldn't. Wouldn't what? Partner with someone who lives in his parents' basement? Someone without real estate assets? You don't understand how this industry works. No, but I understand fraud. I tapped the papers. And so do the lawyers I sent these to this morning. The color drained from Tyler's face. You didn't. I did. I'll lose everything. You mean you'll lose my everything, the things you stole? The front door opened. Mom burst in, designer handbags swinging. What's this I hear about lawyers? Lauren's trying to ruin me! Tyler burst into tears, real ones this time, not the practiced kind from his videos. She's threatening my sponsors! I'm reporting fraud, I corrected. There's a difference. Don't be dramatic, Mom snapped. Tyler needed a leg up. That's what family does. We help each other. Help? Like when you helped yourself to my credit cards, I said. Or when you took out store cards in my name for your business opportunity. Mom waved dismissively. Ancient history. We paid those back after tanking my credit score, just like Tyler's tanking my reputation with these contracts. Your reputation? Tyler laughed through his tears. I'm the one with followers. No one even knows who you are. Exactly, I said. I liked it that way until you dragged me into your scams. They're not scams, Mom interrupted. Everyone does it, she insisted. Everyone commits felonies, I said. Stop saying that word, Tyler shrieked. I'm an entrepreneur, a creator. A criminal, I corrected. And it ends now. Or what? Mom stepped closer. You're going to tear this family apart over some paperwork? You already tore it apart, I said, my voice steady. Every time you chose Tyler's schemes over my boundaries. Every time you treated my home, my money, my identity like community property because you're selfish. Tyler shouted, You have all this and you do nothing with it, while I'm out here building an empire built on lies. Madison cut in quietly. Loren, these contracts, the liability alone. I know. I turned to Tyler. You have 24 hours to come clean to your sponsors. Tell them the truth about whose property you've been using, whose name you've been stealing. You can't make me, Tyler sneered. Actually, I can, I said, pulling out my phone. I opened my drafts folder. A detailed email to every sponsor listed in these contracts with documentation attached. Try me. Tyler lunged for the phone, but I stepped back, watching him stumble. "You're ruining everything!" he screamed. "I hate you! I've always hated you!" Mom rushed to comfort him. "It's okay, sweetheart. We'll fix this. Lauren's just being difficult, like always." Madison moved to stand beside me, still holding the contracts. "This is serious," she said quietly. "And Patricia really serious," Mom snapped. 24 hours, I repeated. Then I start hitting send. Tyler collapsed onto my couch, sobbing. Mom glared at me like I was the villain in her son's story. Maybe I was, but as I watched them comfort each other, plotting their next move, I felt something shift inside me. Years of being the responsible one, the backup plan, the human ATM. It ended here. My phone buzzed, a text from Marcus. "Lawyers want to meet tomorrow, you ready?" I looked at my brother crying real tears on my ruined couch. I looked at my mother already strategizing damage control. I looked at Madison, finally seeing the truth. "Yes," I typed back, "I'm ready." The live stream started at midnight. I watched it unfold on my phone from a hotel room. I'd finally given up trying to sleep in my own home. "What's up, gamers?" Tyler's voice blared through my speakers. "We're coming to you live from the sickest penthouse in downtown Portland." The camera panned across my living room, now transformed into what looked like a frat house. Dozens of strangers crowded the space, energy drinks and beer bottles cluttering every surface. "Tyler's going through some family drama," his friend Jake announced to the camera. "So, we're throwing him the ultimate support party." My phone buzzed, Janet calling. "Are you seeing this?" she demanded. "Unfortunately," I said, "police are already on their way." "This is the last straw, Loren," Janet said. I switched back to the live stream. Tyler had appeared wearing one of my vintage band t-shirts. "You guys are the only real family I need," he slurred, raising a Red Bull. "Who needs haters when you have 50,000 viewers?" Someone started dancing on my dining table. The antique chandelier swayed dangerously as people threw empty cans at it. My doorbell camera activated, police officers in the hallway. The live stream exploded with comments. "Cops run, this is epic content. Someone screen record this." The feed cut out. My phone exploded with notifications. Dad, Mom, Madison, Marcus, Janet. I ignored them all, opened my laptop and started typing. "Dear Game Fuel Energy, regarding your partnership with Tyler Hendress." 20 minutes later, my phone rang. "Dad, what did you do?" he demanded. "I'm not the one who threw an illegal party. The sponsors are pulling out, all of them." Tyler's in hysterics. "Good," I said. "This was his career, his future, his fraud scheme. And it's over. You and your mother will never forgive you for this," Dad said. "Like I'll never forgive you for enabling this. For choosing his chaos over my stability, for watching him destroy everything I've worked for." Silence. "Loren," he said finally, his voice breaking. "He's your brother." "Not anymore," I hung up. I opened Instagram. Tyler had posted again. My Truth, Part 2. Still playing the victim. Still spinning narratives, desperately trying to salvage his crumbling empire. The comments were merciless. "Fraud King exposed. Can't believe we fell for this fake lifestyle. His poor sister." Marcus read over my shoulder. "They're calling you a hero." "I'm not an influencer," I said. "No," he replied. "You're something better, you're honest." The elevator opened and I walked to my door, my space, my sanctuary, my truth. Inside, everything was pristine. No ring lights, no scattered equipment, no evidence of the chaos that had invaded, just peace, quiet, freedom. My laptop sat on my desk, cursor blinking on a new document. Not my novel. Not yet. First, another story needed telling. I began to type. "To everyone who's ever been told that family comes first, no matter the cost. To everyone who's been expected to set themselves on fire to keep others warm. To everyone who's had to choose between peace and loyalty." My phone buzzed, more responses flooding in. More stories, more truth, more healing. I kept typing. Some endings aren't happy. Some families can't be fixed. Some peace comes at a price. But some prices are worth paying. And some stories need to be told even if they break your heart in the telling. Especially then. The cursor blinked at the end of the sentence. Outside my window, the city sparkled with possibility. My phone continued buzzing with messages from strangers who'd found courage in my truth. I closed the laptop, made myself tea, and sat on my new couch, the one I bought to replace what Tyler had destroyed. For the first time in years, my home was truly mine. The silence wasn't empty. It was full of potential, full of stories waiting to be written, full of a life reclaimed. I raised my mug in a toast to the empty room. To freedom, I whispered, and to never setting yourself on fire for people who won't even notice the light. The building settled around me with a contented sigh, and I smiled. I was finally home,